How are you guys doing? Today is Tuesday, February 2nd, 2021, out here in this quarantine. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, because today is February 2nd, today is the 22nd birthday of Jeffrey Okudah, the Elite starting cornerback for the Detroit Lions. This is the second profile that I did of him. The first one I did was during quarantine last year. And though his rookie year didn't shape out in the way I thought it would, I still think he is a dynamic individual prospect or just individual talent that many NFL offenses are going to have to look out for years to come. And I think that one day he could be another player that sports a gold jacket when it's all said and done. So if you're unfamiliar about who he is, like I said, he's 22 years old. He was born in 1999, originally out of New Jersey. He would find his way to playing high school in Texas. You know how big playing high school in Texas is. As one of the top recruits for the class of 2017, which is coincidentally my class, he committed to Ohio State. And considering how dominant Ohio State was, because this was 2017, this was towards the end of Urban Meyer's reign, it was very competitive to get a spot on that team because, of course, they were getting 5 stars every single year. And they got 5 stars every year, so that team was incredibly deep. Jeffrey Okudah he started every single game as a freshman, which I thought was incredibly impressive. He played all 14 games. He registered 17 tackles in the season. Ohio State would finish 12-2, beating USC in the Cotton Bowl, finishing as a top 5 team in the nation, with Jeff Okudah at least being a starter on that team, which as a freshman is an incredible feat that not many freshmen get to start on a top 5 team in the nation, let alone start all 5 games. And then he at least played in all 14 games, which is incredible considering he did so at Ohio State. His sophomore year, he started to show a little bit more impact. He played in all 13 games. He started in all of them yet again. And this is the season where Urban Meyer and Ryan Day would have their coaching transition. They would beat the Washington Huskies by 5, finishing as a top 5 team in the nation for the second year in a row. They finished 3rd in the AP poll ranks. But this season, this season, Okudah would register 32 tackles as he helped Ohio State to become yet a once again an amazing team. And through his first 2 years in college as a true freshman and sophomore, he played every single game that he got a chance to play, which I have to bring up again as an incredible feat. But he wasn't really he wasn't really making. He was making waves, but he didn't really stand out as an individual until after his junior year. And so in his junior year, he would play in all the games. He would play in every game in 2019 in a season where Ohio State would finish 13-1 and lose to Clemson in the college football semifinal as the 3rd best team in the nation. And Ryan Day's first full season coaching. And in this season, Jeff Okudah would finish with 34 tackles. He finished with 3 interceptions on the season. And at the same time, he didn't get a single pass interference call against him, which I thought was the most impressive feat. He was a finalist for the Jim Thorpe Award. He wasn't named the winner, but he was still unanimous All-American. He was named to the first team All Big Ten unanimously, and he decided to forego his senior year. This was all in his junior year. He had established that he was a good enough prospect at Ohio State through his first 3 years, starting virtually every single game. He was taken 3rd overall in the 2020 NFL Draft by the Detroit Lions, the most recent NFL draft. And his NFL career has been plagued by injuries. After suffering a hamstring injury during training camp, he would come back in week 2 against the Green Bay Packers, who at the time, this year were the hottest offense in the entire NFL. He allowed 96 yards against them, but that was his first ever NFL game. His next game in week 3, he would pick up his first career interception against elite quarterback Kyler Murray of the Arizona Cardinals. But then his season was riddled by injury to the point where he was put on injured reserve in the middle of December because of a core muscle injury. So his NFL career hasn't necessarily had the start that many thought it would. But going into 2021, I still feel incredibly confident listing Jeffrey Okudah as one of the league's premier young corners. I think that one day, once he puts all of his tools together and he's no longer injured, he could definitely impact the football field on the defensive side, on through the air and on the ground. With that said, he's just an incredibly young player. Like I said, he turns 22 today. He's just a little older than I am. And as the years go on, I believe he's gonna add a lot more. He's going to add many more feats to this list. And at the same time, if he does, and I could very well take him off. But as of right now, going into 2021, I am betting on Jeff Okudah, who is currently wearing number 30 for the Detroit Lions. I believe he will probably change his number because that is his rookie number. But with that said, I hope all is well. I want to thank you guys once again for listening to all 5-6 minutes of this piece. Following this, I will do a piece on Harrison Smith, who is the starting safety for the Minnesota Vikings, who as of right now is 32. But with that said, thank you once again for listening to my piece. I will follow this up with the Harrison Smith piece, and I will catch you following tomorrow's episodes as well. Thanks once again for listening. Catch my boy Jeff Okudah wearing number 30. I believe he is an elite young corner that you guys should be watching in 2021. Thanks, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.